Hey guys, before we get this video started, I just wanted to take a quick second to ask y'all to please like the video and subscribe to the channel. We're a very small channel, still trying to grow, growing very slowly, but we're getting the content out there. YouTube scores an algorithm by how many people that likes the video and subscribes, so it really would help. We appreciate all the support, guys, and hope y'all enjoy the video. Alright, so here we have the door cards for this 2001 Volkswagen Beetle, and as you can tell, somebody has zip tied the tar out of it, as is normal with these. That's normally what everybody does, because this leather shrinks over time and it doesn't lay down like it's supposed to. See, I can't even stretch it down to lay like it's supposed to. So what everybody does is they take it apart and they zip tie it together so that the leather stays on there, and it doesn't look horrible, but it doesn't look great, and it's not the way it's supposed to be. Now, I found these online, either eBay or Amazon. I'll try to put a link in the description below of where I got these from. They were, I mean, super cheap, super cheap. They're not exactly the same color. This is a little darker, but you know, we did the door panels, and I think the door panels are, man, they're such a close match to stock, but they're maybe a hair darker. They're not as dark as this though, but I think it's all going to blend in just fine. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to take these, we're going to cut all these zip ties off, and then we're going to see what we have to work with here with this. Alright, got all the zip ties cut off of here. Let's see what we got underneath. Looks like somebody's been in here before, because there's supposed to be like a foam on here. All there is a bunch of glue. So it's actually going to make it easier for us to clean. We'll get all this cleaned up, get all this gunk off of here, and then we'll take this one and glue it to it. I'm sure that'll be fun. Alright, so this is how we clean this thing up. I've already done it, but I just got me a little wire bristle brush attachment for the drill, and just wire brush this whole thing. Just like that, all over the thing. And then you want to wipe it down real good, get all that dust off of it before we go on to the next thing. Alright, now we got the whole thing wiped down real good. Just gonna let it dry, and then we'll put the new vinyl on there and glue it down. After wire brushing these and then wiping them down real good, basically soaking them in rubbing alcohol, wiping them down, hung them up to let them dry, and they're not quite dry yet, but that's what they look like after being wiped down with the alcohol and let it dry. And what we'll do next is we'll set the vinyl inserts on them and start gluing them down. Alright, so redoing these door cards. This is where we're at. This is what we got to work with. The door card stripped down. The other door card stripped down. And this is what we got to put on top of it. Now, I've already test fitted a little bit, and it fits looser than I would like it to. Now, obviously, the problem before was it fit too tight, and that's why it would, you know, once it shrunk a little bit, it would pull away from the door. So, as you can see here, I've got this. I mean, there's just, see all that slack? We're going to have to kind of work that down the door panel some and work out what we can. Of course, there was padding on this originally, and I don't think they would have made these, you know, to have the padding on it, because that's the first thing everybody does when they take these out is they strip all that padding off because it's crumbling and it's just falling off anyway. So maybe if we repadded it, it would soak up some of the slack. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to repad it because I just don't see the point. So we're going to work with what we got, and we're just going to get the best result we can possibly come out with. Alright, so this part of the process, for the most part, is pretty simple. All you're going to do is you're going to take your glue and you're going to spray it on both sides. So I'm going to spray it on the back side of this that's going to touch the front side of this. And I'm going to spray the front side of this. And I'm going to let them tack up for just a minute. And then I'm going to start sticking the two together. Now, once you start sticking these together, it's not going to want to move very much. So you're going to have to kind of, you know, put like, you know, I'm probably going to start here. This is probably the line that I'm going to want to make sure is right. Here and here. So these two ridges is probably what I'm going to start trying to stick down, and then work from there. And work everything out flat so that there's no air bubbles or anything in there. Of course, anything that goes over the edge of the door card you can cut off or wrap around the backside if you want to. I'll cut it off flush with the top. But all right, let's get to doing that. You want to make sure you get really good coverage, especially in areas that are contoured, because it's going to be harder for those areas to hold on. And of course around the edges as well. Alright, I'm just going to let that tack up for just about a minute, and then we'll get to sticking the two together. Most of that's good and tacky. Just want to get it where you want it, and then pull and stretch.
Try to keep your seam almost in the same place. Right, so. Screws actually working exceptionally well.
You want to make sure when you're doing parts like this that have ridges that you're pressing down here and then stretching it over the ridge and coming down.
I'm not having air bumps in
take a good look at the back side and make sure that you've got everything covered on here all the way to the edge and stuck real good. Any places that seem like they're coming up, you have 10 or 15 minutes or so to work with this glue. So if you see any places that are coming up, they might continuously try to come up. You just keep sticking them down, and then once this glue sets, you'll be good. Now, I want to point out that in no way am I saying that I am a professional interior whatever they call themselves. I'm not that. Interior installer, designer. I am not a professional interior guy. I know enough to be dangerous. And so that's just, I'm just doing this to make this car look way better. It's not going to be perfect, but also, you know, a professional shop, no telling what they would charge to do this. And of course they would, you know, not buy these from China. They would have made their own and would have fit better. But actually this don't fit too awfully bad once I've got the glue on it. But it's not a professional job. Now, is anybody else going to know that? I don't know. We'll have to see once we get this in there, because at the moment, I'm thinking it's going to turn out quite well. But we'll see once we get it in there. Alright, now we're just going to go around the back side of this thing with a razor blade, and we're just going to cut all this excess leather off. Or if you want to, you can fold it over. You could even glue it over on the back side if you want. Okay, so you can tell I've got one here myself. I need to re-glue that.